Hello and welcome back. Today I want to play a little bit with GPIB or the IEEE 488, and in the past by HP it was even called HPIB. And that is a general purpose interface bus, and it is to communicate with your test equipment. And nowadays you just do it with your Windows 10. There is a VISA layer in between. Most commonly is the one from National Instruments, but Agilent or Keysight also has their own VISA, but the most compatible is the from NI, so we're gonna use that one. In one of my other videos I built this old DOS PC. Well, it was actually Windows 98, and it has an ISA card still in there, and I use that for my Tektronix because I need to use the field alignment software, the FAS, and it is especially for my Tektronix TDS 744A, and it runs on the DOS version of Windows 98. And we did get it to work. But then I was thinking, because it is Windows, maybe I can even find the old driver of this National Instruments ISA card, and then I can maybe use it in the Windows also. So I'm going to try that. So I found the drivers on a very old FTP site of from National Instruments, and it even had the latest VISA drivers for 95, for 98, for 2000, and for XP, and of course for Windows 10. Windows 10 you can just download it. So I want to try all the possibilities. So first I try to get my ISA card running on the Windows 98, or if that works or not. It would be nice if I can, but it would not be a problem if I cannot, because I have also here a newer PC. It has PCI. Also the same, I have a National Instruments PCI GPIB card, and I'm going to show you how to install that also. And I will have the download links, of course, to everything. And PCI is also slowly getting out of the PCs, or people use more and more laptops, or maybe even use an Apple. And then you also have the USB, and this is not this runs on USB. It's also GPIB, but it's a fake. I bought this one in China, but it should be more or less like the Keysight A2357B. And I'm also going to install this one. I will do this on my laptop, where I have not installed before the Keysight software, so I can also run you through the process. So I think then we have most of the combinations to get us started communicating with this. Okay, let's start with the old DOS machine that also runs Windows 98, and the card is still in there. I will leave it in also. I can show you a picture of the ISA card that I used. But for more details, if you want to set up the field alignment software, I have another video for that. So let's power it on. It is a dual boot, so we should be able to boot it into Windows. And then let's have a look if the hardware is detected or not at all. And then hopefully on this old FTP that I found from National Instruments, hopefully that I have the correct driver. I have not tried it. And boot normal, not in DOS mode. So I will leave the links also to all those VISA drivers, because most of the programs don't talk directly to the GPIB. It goes through this VISA layer, and then you have some sort of compatibility layer, and then you can talk through your GPIB to the device. And I found different VISA drivers for Windows 95, even 98, I think Millennium Edition, for 2K, and XP, and of course for Windows 10 is the latest. You can just download directly from National Instruments, and I will show you that on my laptop and on the newer PC. I will zoom in on the screen. Let's have a look in the hardware. Okay, I don't see any devices that are not working. Yes, that is correct, because the LPT is switched off because I needed the interrupt of that printer port. Is there a system device here that I can see that is IEEE or GPIB or no? So I think it's not detected at all. Okay, that is USB, so I can use my memory stick. Let's see if what I found is useful. Okay, it is trying to install USB mass storage. Well, there should be a default driver, I think. I'm not sure for... Oh yeah, it is. So even 98 has USB support already. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I did not put a network card in because I don't want to connect it to the internet because it's so old. And ooh, maybe the memory stick is too big or it's formatted in another format than FAT32. Maybe it's NTFS and maybe 98 doesn't do that. So I need to get another memory stick. Okay, that was indeed the problem. I have now a little memory stick. I formatted the FAT32 and put the drivers there. So we're going to try again. Yes. And it opens. Perfect. Okay. Go to details. I found several folders and I will zip the ones that are useful. Here is a Visa version for 95, 98. Here it's 98 drivers. Visa for 98 Millennium. And here is for XP and 2K. So this one will be too high. But all are the highest versions that you can use. So if you have 95, you pick this one. And this is version 261. I think for 98, you can use 301. And for XP and 2K, the highest you can use is 441. Well, and nowadays we are here already on 21 for Windows 10. So, but let me first check if we can do something with the drivers. I think it is a 488.2. Let me see what it supports. It does PCI, USB, PCI Express. Oh, that's very new. It is for all versions, 89 and up. Well, I'm looking now at the install folder. It created the C National Instruments downloads and then a few folders in there. Here is my driver. I think it just ran that just before. But here I have another setup and I'm not sure what it is. It's the same story, but the install program looks different. So let's have a look at what this does. Okay, after reboot, it wants me to verify things. So it did not find my adapter. Okay. Okay, it seems that all this is for PCI and higher. It's not for the ISA card. I found some other drivers that I will zip for you. Win and doors. And it is a GPIB based on the PCII by CIIA. Then it is the 82. Let's get the highest version, 2.6 for Windows. Our card is put in PCIIA mode. And let's see. It's a zip file, tells you how to put it on the floppy, but I just used a normal unzip, so hopefully my setup folder can find all the files. Or maybe I just add all the files together and there is no, I do a copy, add it in my first floppy. Maybe it will just do that. Let's see, I run the setup. Okay, that was too old, so I removed it. One was too new because it was for PCI. Then one was too old because it was for Windows 3. I found now something that is for Windows 95. I unzip the two files, then you get two folders. I will again merge those two and then run the setup. And we paste it here. I will just put it in one zip file and then we can run the setup. So that was a few hours well spent. I did not get it to work in the end. I will put in the links the VISA drivers for older Windows versions. It will probably just work with Windows 98 if I put my ISA, not my ISA card, but the PCI card. But PCI also works in Windows 10, so why would I bother? So I keep my ISA card in here for the TDS software, the fuzz field alignment software, and that is all it will do. I continue now with my PCI card on Windows 10. So I have here my, it's an older Dell, but it is still an i7, but it is one of the first for made for Windows 7, but it's running Windows 10. And I have here a PCI card. It's just modern, well, sort of modern, because it is from 96, 97. So these you can find on eBay and on AliExpress even secondhand. And I think they start at 35, and if you want to have it shipped a little bit faster, you pay a little bit more. I think this one comes from Germany because I wanted to have it fast. Did it detect anything? Yes, it did detect anything. It already detected it's an NI PCI GPIB, but it did not. It has question mark, so the driver is not correct, but it somehow already knows that it is a national instrument, so that's good. And well, I sent you the link where you can download the national instruments, but I already downloaded it to a stick. And well, the memory stick here works a lot better. And well, the latest version, when I downloaded it, it was here. Not a 21. And you just run the installer, and I will put the download link in the bottom, because this is just a question of selecting and running. Well, I agree. Packet manager, yes. And here I just leave everything selected that is selected, because I don't know that much about GPIB, and it seems all extra server I don't need. So we just say next. The installation took a while, and yeah, it just put here in my all programs shortcut. That is the NI Max, and Max is Measurement Automation Explorer. And if I go here to devices and interfaces, it has here my COM1. Apparently over a COM port you can also do your Visa. And here is my NI PCI adapter. It is ID interface 0, National Instruments, PCI. It even reads the serial number, so this really works. So on Windows 10 it's a lot more easy. Let me try to connect the device. So there was a lot of looking at the screen. I have here an Agilent. It's a DMM 6.5 multimeter. It already is Agilent, not HP, and in the back it also very nicely says that it is a GPIB and not HPIB. You will find that on very old HP devices. It is a huge cable, but you can just, because it's parallel, you can just link one to the other, to the other, to the other. I know in the past when you had the big IEEEs that you really need to use a terminator. I don't think that is necessary with this new IEEE, but I'm not sure. Let's just try. I'm also not sure about the ID number, but I saw my card was 0, and meters external devices will probably never be 0. So I will just try to connect it. On that cable you can only connect one way, so let me switch on the device first. I saw RS232 instead of GPIB. I don't know if I can switch that over. Okay, well, I think, of course I never read the manual, but in the menu you can walk. No, I'm wrong again. Connectivity. I think it needs to be I/O. No, I'm already again in the wrong menu. This is really terrible. I/O. Now I need to do enter, but I think instead of enter, I need to go down, and then I can set here the address 8 is okay. I don't know who designed this menu. Okay, but it is address 8, so let's see if we can find something. Yes, it found my device. Cool. So what I did after I connected, I said scan for instruments. Then you can see there comes an extra option here, and it is indeed address 8. I can see the firmware. Cool, you can see a lot of information. So, and if I say now open Visa test panel, okay, communicate with the instrument. What is that? Here I can give commands. IDN, it's maybe get your ID. So if I say, yeah, it says it's a ULIT package. Okay, cool. Well, these commands I need to learn, but at least we are talking with the device. And okay, that was actually very fast. It worked the first time. So if you have a card with PCI, just use it on Windows 10 and you can just install and it just works. Just remember to switch the device over from serial to GPIB if you have that option. If you manage to get through this menu, which I think still is terrible, but the meter is amazing. And well, we were able to communicate with the device, so that's nice. Now I like to do the same, and I will do that on a laptop also with Windows 10. I want to try this, well, it is not original. I want to try this USB adapter, but I don't want to mess this up, and also maybe we need to install other things first. What I did read is that Keysight has its own Visa drivers, and they are not always 100% compatible. So what you can do is first install the National Instruments VISA driver. It will not recognize the hardware, but that's no problem. But at least the VISA is then installed. Then you install the HP package or the Keysight package with the USB driver for this device. That's also one big package I will show you. And then it will detect automatically, wait, there is already a VISA available. Do you want a Keysight VISA as a secondary? And you just say yes, do it secondary, because most of the applications prefer the National Instruments VISA. So that's what I ever read. Let's see how that works in practice. Okay, this is my my laptop. It's an i5, one of the first, also made for Windows 7, but I also upgraded to Windows 10. And what I do first is just what I did with the other PC, is first install the National Instruments. The same story. Instead of now doing the full ISO, I also have an online package here. That is the one you will also download. So it is the full version here, it's an ISO, and the online version. So let me just take the online version. I will link to this because 1 GB it would be a bit much to put that on download on my private website, but the other drivers I will. Okay, after that has been installed, it took a while again. Then we can install the Keysight instrument control. That is also 1.3 GB, also a lot, almost the same size as the National Instruments, but this time it comes with drivers and everything. So now we install just over that. I will also link to this software. And well, there comes a time lapse again because this will also take a while. I think before, because .NET was missing, and it was installed in this first option here, and I didn't reboot in between, and it was not asked, but during this installation something went wrong, and I think it was because .NET was missing. So I will install this again, and usually there is if you start the setup again, usually they ask if you want to remove or repair. So I will choose the repair option. And then hopefully I won't get these error messages now. Okay, after the install it asked to reboot. I did that, so I installed all the 3 options. And well, of course I don't read, but it says here actually on the cable, import the install Keysight IO library software before installing, and they probably mean before you plug it in. So I did that, and let me disconnect the memory stick. Okay, and well, IO libraries is there, so just let's plug it in. The light is red. That means fail. Oh, and now it's green. Access. Well, the fail light is still on, but not as bright as the other. And now it's off. Now it's green. So I think that worked. Let's see the device manager. Open, and then I shoot something. Yeah. Here it is, Keysight Technologies A2. Well, if it is a fake adapter, it is at least good enough that it is recognized as an original one. So, okay, I'm not sure if you need to do it powerless or not. So what I will do, I will take out the USB. I will connect the cable. Here it is. You can see the lights there. We'll switch it on. Plug in the USB. well, it starts to be red first again, then 2 green ones, and then we wait, and the red one at some point will switch off. It should, yes, it is off, and this now seems some sort of a data. So open the I/O manager. Yes, PCI interface 21, unit 7. Okay, scan. Do I see devices? Can we see that here? So at least it does see that there is a device connected. No instruments found. Yes, now it's found something. Look at that. It can see the... I don't know what I did. I think it just took a little bit of time. So it did find my instrument. It even has a picture. It's a device at 8. Okay. Interactive I/O, I/O monitor. Okay, here we can do the same, I think, as what we did with the other card. Interactive I/O. Then we can do here the identification command. Is it? Yes, IDN, read response. Now it comes directly. Okay. So if I send identification, it does, but I need to ask for the feedback, and here it is. Okay. So it communicates. The USB also works. Okay, from the connection expert, we can also here click on the bench view. And the bench view is maybe exactly doing what we expect. We can just view our bench. So I probably can do a readout of what the multimeter is doing. It takes a while to start. I see my adapter running. I see here my multimeter. So I will just double click that. Then it says it needs to install a multimeter application. So let's just do that. You need to be online for this, I would think. Start trial. 7 days, prima. Launch. Okay, connect. Yes. Okay, what can we see? Okay, it's all a bit small, but let me try if I can enlarge this screen. Can I enlarge this screen a bit? Yes, I can. Now we can see the voltage here. I have my standard here on 1 volt. So if I put it, I probably need to put it into start, and then it will start reading. Yes, it's indeed almost 1 volt here, and it is doing something. So the communication works. I just now need to find the programs that are useful, but this is kind of cool. So that took some hours. We tried first an old ISA card, actually made for DOS, maybe early versions of Windows. We tried that on Windows 95, 98. It was not working, but it was working perfectly on the DOS with field alignment software. So I will leave the links to the FISA drivers, because the FISA drivers maybe are nice for another use that you can use. So I will leave the links there, and the driver also, but I couldn't find the proper driver. Most of the drivers were made for PCI, and if you have PCI, why would you not just use it on Windows 10? Because most of the Windows 10 computers still have at least one PCI slot. And so I showed you that also. That was very easy to install. I will leave the link to the National Instruments FISA driver, including the device driver. It's just in the whole package, exactly like in the HP. I have here the Keysight adapter. It's USB, so it also works on a laptop that doesn't have ISA or PCI. It just uses USB. and it is the A2357B. And this is the bench view. I use this from HP to install on the installing the Keysight software. I did first install the National Instrument software because that Visa driver, I have read many articles about it, that Visa driver from National Instruments is the most compatible. And so if you install that first and after that you install the Keysight software, the Keysight software will recognize, oh, you already have a Visa driver installed, let me be at least a secondary. So you can switch then maybe later. So that's it. A lot of installing, a lot of computer screens. Thank you for watching. Hope it's helpful. Hope to see you next time.